Thank you, thank you. Can you hear me? Yeah. So, hello everyone. Thanks a lot for the introduction, Nani. So, everything started back in 2018. I did probably one of the best decisions in my professional life back then, when I joined Independent University for my master's. I didn't have that much experience around cybersecurity. I was focused on IT and computer science in general. But thankfully, I had these people inspire me to dive deeper into the topic, Rich, Bill, and Nick, and helped me to understand, to learn first, the passion that I had deep inside myself. And this passion was around privacy-preserving technologies and blockchain. So, thankfully, I have been accepted to do my PhD, and everything started back then. And despite the first few years, they were really exciting, and I had the opportunity to do some original research, publish some papers around this space. And despite this success, I was still feeling deep myself that something is missing. And probably it was this part that I wanted to do something in the real world, to somehow see the actual impact of my research in the real world. And so I have dived deeper into that space. I have some discussions with the Research, Innovation and Enterprise Office, the Entrepreneurial Residence, back then it was Jamie Graves, now it's Nani, and the Bright Red Triangle. And for 3 or 4 months, I was thinking only about that. How I can commercialize my research, how I can see real impact about my research. I have participated in some entrepreneurial workshops back then. Thank you, Nick, for all of your insights. It was really helpful for me in order to shape my ideas. First of all, explain everything in a non-technical way, because I'm coming from a technical background. This was really challenging for me. I'm still struggling, but I'm getting better and better. And the original scope of this work was the privacy-preserving healthcare. I thought that healthcare is the best domain to apply these privacy-preserving technologies due to its sensitivity. But after the support I have got from the university, I did some research, some market research with my commercial champion. Back then, again, it was Jane Graves. And we found out that despite that there are some companies in that space already, that they are doing something similar, maybe not exactly the same as we were supposed to do, but at least something similar, that had already big contracts with big pharma companies like AstraZeneca, Johnson & Johnson, Bayer, and many more. And we also, and very interestingly, we found a really big opportunity and a really big pain point that these solutions can solve in a totally different domain. So we pivoted, we changed our scope, and focused on the software supply chain. And I'm very thankful for the Scottish Enterprise funding. We have got the high growth spin-out opportunity qualification funding in order to focus for 9 months only doing market research and talking to customers. And I believe this is very important. Instead of going out there and start building something that we love and we think it's the most amazing thing in the world, we had the opportunity to go and talk to customers, ask them about their pain points, what keeps them awake at nights. So later on, after we got another grant from Scottish Enterprise, the company creation funding, we now are building this infrastructure based on all these insights, based on what our customers want, because they are those that will buy this solution later on. So we started this journey with TrueDeploy. We are aiming to spin out by October 2023, in a few months' time. And let me explain to you a little bit what TrueDeploy is all about. As you probably already know, cybercrime poses a massive cost to the world, which is estimated at 10 trillion by 2025. And as you can see in this chart, in the top of the list, it's the software vulnerability exploits and supply chain breaches. And it's a very important factor. And let me give you some more numbers out of the research that we have made. Out of a recent survey that happened on many different open source repositories, of many different code repositories across many different industries, they found out that 98% of those had at least one open source component. And out of all these code bases, again, 84% had at least one vulnerability, with an expected average number to be around 158. And also, and very interestingly, 65% of these code bases had at least one license conflict. License conflicts can happen when a company uses someone else's software components that they are not allowed to use, either making money out of that when they are not allowed to, or they are not making open source their final software. But why should you care, and why is this important now when all these breaches happen all these years? The answer is regulation. It is only a matter of time until businesses have to disclose not only what goes into their software, but also have to prove it. You can think about it like a nutrition label behind in the foods. Knowing the ingredients of the cake is going to be essential. And let's dive a little bit deeper into the pain points that our customers face. As compliance needs increase, large organizations push more strict compliance needs downstream to their medium-sized vendors. And as you can imagine, these medium-sized vendors push it even further down the line to small businesses and startups. And now just imagine that these small businesses have to answer huge lists of security questions and questionnaires, and even individually for each of their clients, even if approximately 90% of these questions are very similar. As you can think about that, it's a nightmare to deal with. And people currently do that by using Excel spreadsheets, Word documents, copy and pasting there, or answering very long emails. And that brings me to what TrueDeploy is all about. We help businesses to track the ingredients in their software, monitor vulnerabilities in it, and also seamlessly and automatically capture information, collect information from many different places, and provide them to our users in a single dashboard. What differentiates us from the competition and our unique sauce, secret sauce, derives by the zero trust approach that we have, which is backed up by distributed ledger technology. We have submitted our first patent related with this process back in May, and we expect to file a second patent this year. And let me explain a little bit if it's visible. Currently, in the application security market, there are many different tools for many different types of software. Some of them may be focused only for containers, some others for cloud infrastructures, or for some other particular purposes, how you can secure particular features of a product, of a software. And on top of those, there are many other companies that aim to automate and to orchestrate the execution of all these tools. As you can imagine, this is just an example. It's very tough right now to keep track of exactly what happened in a point of time in a company, when all these tools are being executed, and where their output is being stored. And next to that, it's the third-party risk management. This, amongst other things, includes formal verification of software and some other activities like penetration testing, potentially. And next to that, a company typically uses some other platforms and tools in order to create tickets and in order to fix their bugs, store their certifications, version control their code, or simply store any other documents. But we, at TrueDeploy, we don't aim to replace any of these tools. We actually aim to collect these different security artifacts from many different places. And then we are able to show them in a single dashboard, in one place, seamlessly to our customers. As you can see, this visual just gives a sense of our dashboard, which has a lot of this different information from all these different places. Our vision is to make software secure by bringing trust and transparency into the software supply chain. And so far, we were very fortunate to have received over £330,000 from grants. And these opportunities allowed us to find the perfect market that we should go first, and the perfect type of customers. And we found out that we should start by focusing to scale-ups. We found that this target group has the biggest pain point that our solution can solve. And despite the fact we have engaged already with some other different sectors, such as government defense and regulated business, we will wait until we have a demonstrable MVP until we engage with them better and more. And I'm very happy to be in this journey with an exciting funding team, with a perfect funding team, in order to make this business a success. People that have done it already in the past successfully, and we can complement each other's skill sets nicely. And also have some of the best cybersecurity minds out there to help us build our product, such as Bill, Nick, and Owen. But in order to succeed, we need your help. We would love to talk more to investors about what we do and have them join us in this exciting journey. And for people from industry and startups, we would love to do some pilot testing with you in order to improve more our product market offering. We have already agreed with 5 companies to do this pilot testing, and we aim to continue and increase this number this year. With that, I want to thank you very much for your time, and if you have many questions, feel free to reach out to me later.